Hema Vyas. I'm a psychologist, spiritual mentor. I've been working in helping people to grow from connecting with and tuning into and connecting with their heart space. I've been working for over 30 years, almost 30 years doing this work. And what I've realized is that now more than ever, people need to understand the true wisdom that is contained within the heart. And now more than ever, people need to understand the importance of going beyond the mind, beyond thoughts, beyond facts, beyond what we think we know, and into what we actually feel and where the wisdom truly comes from, which is deep down within us, that space within us, the heart space. I'm delighted to be here. I'm a member of the Wellness Universe community, and I'm delighted to be here as part of their wellness moment to share a little bit of what I feel is going to help us all get through what's currently going on. From my experience, I feel like I've been getting ready for this moment all this time. There's been so much preparation in terms of the deep meditation work around yoga, around connecting to what the truth is, both within myself and what the truth is in the external world. There is so much out there, so much information, there's so much that we're being presented with, and we're getting lost in information, we're getting lost in science, we're getting lost in a lot of facts, figures, a lot of intellect, a lot of intelligence, but we're missing out on the one thing that I think is far more important, especially at times of crisis, and that is wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom is when experience has been metabolized, transformed, turned into a deep knowingness of truth, and that truth becomes the foundation of how we live our lives, the way we live our lives, the ability to live our lives not only with integrity for ourselves, but the ability to live with integrity for all of those around us. How do we do this? We do this by recognizing that everything in our life is a mirror of what we're holding deep in our hearts, those patterns that are both conscious and unconscious. When we take a look at what's happening in the world around us now, I would say that it is a reflection of a deep, deep grief. The fact that people are struggling to breathe, what is really impacted are the lungs. When we think about what happened at the beginning of the year with the rainforest, and what happened in Australia with the fires, all of the trees that have been burnt down, not to mention all the animals and lives lost. All of that is a reflection of the deep sadness that we are really finding difficult to process and metabolize. This is all the fear, all the sadness, all the grief that we collectively are holding in our hearts. And because for so long we've put so much attention on being thought-filled, we've forgotten about the feelings, we've forgotten about what we're feeling, we've disconnected from what we're feeling. And by disconnecting, the outer world has reflected what really needs to heal. What really needs to heal is our own lungs, our own sadness, our own grief, which is connected with the heart. Because everything originates and comes out from the heart space. And so to be willing to have the courage to do a deep dive into the heart space, to be willing to not just take things at face value, or not to keep on distracting ourselves or numbing ourselves to what we feel, but to honor and really truly connect with how we feel, knowing that when we do that, there is a way out. The mind, the heart, the body, when in alignment, is perfectly created to be able to deal with anything that happens on this planet. We have the resources within us. We have an inner pharmacy. We have the inner ability to deal with whatever life shows us. And when we have the courage to go deep inside, when we have the courage to be willing to go into ourselves, to be able to go into that space and place where deeply held patterns are beginning to emerge as things that are happening in the outside world that we think we have no control over, what we recognize is that we have so much control. In fact, every aspect of our life is filled with a level of certainty that we are guaranteed and actually driving towards some sort of evolution if we have the courage to go deep within, to have the courage to connect with the heart space, to be able to recognize that by clearing the heart space, there are so many tools. And when we apply some of these tools, like meditation, like yoga, journaling, being in nature, there are multiple tools that you can use to go deep within yourself, to begin to clear the patterns, to recognize the patterns, to be able to make different choices, to be aware that our evolution is really what's needed. And evolution happens when we begin to clear the heart space individually and collectively, so that we become mirrors for a better world. We become mirrors for something so much more powerful than what we've been living through over the past couple of centuries. It is when we recognize that we can and are able to do this with courage, with clarity, through, for example, meditation, that we can begin to have the world that we're all so desperate to have. A world that is full of love. A world that I would call is a romance which is about attracting from a place of love rather than attracting from a place of fear. Rather than worrying about our safety and our security, creating from a place of knowing that when we work together, when we are united, when we're connected, when our hearts are clear, the hearts can communicate with other hearts, we can work together, and in doing that, have the most beautiful romance. For me, it is a time for heart renaissance, a time to come back to what it really means to love, to have a love affair with ourselves, to have a love affair with the world that we live in, rather than simply striving to get through, instead of struggling, instead of worrying, instead of trying to protect ourselves, shutting down our hearts, having the courage to open our hearts, to connect with other people, to connect with ourselves more deeply, connecting with other people. Together, we can make a difference. Connection comes from heart communication. We are now recognizing that the heart is able to communicate not only to the world around us, it is able to communicate with the planet, it is able to communicate with the atmosphere of the earth and the energies that arise, the electromagnetic field that arises outside of the earth. And when our hearts are clear and connecting with the earth's magnetic field, when there is a connection not only with us but others around us, we are going to be able to create something so much more beautiful, more powerful from that space and place of love. And that is what we need. Not more fear, not more worry, not more anxiety. What we need is more love, more connection, more unity. And all of that originates from our heart. And that is why, for me, it is a time for renaissance of the heart. Everything that I'm saying is based on my experience, working with a multitude of people, all levels or walks of life. And while what I'm saying is not about any medical advice for anything you may be going through physically or even emotionally, I do suggest that by connecting to the heart, you are able to find level of healing that is needed no matter what. But of course, you must seek medical advice if there's something physical or emotional seriously going on. But for now, I'd like to just take you to a few moments of just being able to connect with your heart with me. What I'd like to invite you to do is to just gently close your eyes and Feel the vibration of love. And as you do, bring it down into your chest and allow it to fill your chest, your heart, healing anything that has been held on a deep, unconscious level. So that the energy, the vibration of love begins to resonate. Even just taking a few moments in your day to stop, to listen to your heart, to connect with your heart, is going to make a world of difference. Allow that frequency, that vibration of love to spread from your heart out into your world, out to those that you love, whether you're able to see them or not, out into the world, to those that you may know, acquaintances, friends, loved ones, and even strangers, those who are connected via this wellness moment through the wellness universe, through your friends and family. And when you're ready, you may gently open your eyes and feel that love. Thank you for joining this time, this space with me. If you have any questions, please post them here. I would be very happy to answer them. If you would like to connect with me, please do so. Very much look forward to hearing how you felt, how you've experienced this, what your thoughts are about the heart energy. Really appreciate the words of encouragement, the messages. Thank you so much. And as I say, what we need now more than ever is love. And I welcome you to tune into your own heart space, tune into the love that is held there. Thank you very much.